Hi everyone, I've missed you. I appreciate to all of you who have reached out or just been waiting for what's going on with the new video. I appreciate it, and I haven't caught up to responding to everyone yet. But basically what's been going on was during one of my monthly self-checks, I discovered a bump underneath my armpit. It turned out to be a non-cancerous tumor, which was wonderful, but I wanted it out. It turned out to be quite big. What I could feel was really small, but the rest of it inside was much bigger. They were able to get me in right after, little after Easter. Everything went fine the day of the surgery. Afterwards was really hard, really painful because of the area, trying to sleep. Everything is touching it, so it was uncomfortable. But then I got an infection. And remember my shrimp that I fell on at Christmas? I thought that I was healing pretty good after like I want to say it was about a month, and I had a massage done on my lower back, which obviously I did not know I had an infection at the time, and it spread the infection further. Again, whenever you have a flu or you have some type of infection, don't get a massage. I felt as if I had zero energy. I couldn't move and just laid in bed, and I've never felt like that ever. So it has been a long recovery. I am still not 100%. I have now had my second blood test showing no infection, so I'm happy about that. I'm about 80% of my energy, and I know I'll get back to my 100, but it has definitely taken some time. So as I was laying and thinking, and life was happening, and we lost some special family members. We have some other friends that are going through some health issues. And it just started to make me think about the grieving process and the people we've lost, what we've learned, love, heartache. I just had a lot of time to lay and think. But I was recalling as we know, my first heartache, which was at 9 years old when my father left. After that, we used to go up to Victorville almost every weekend to visit our grandparents. We had a bunch of friends there. My grandma would make us, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We just kind of ran all over and had a great time. Even my cousin and my sister, we used to do dances and we'd sing. We did a lot of concerts there. There was no audience. Well, our grandma and my grandpa, if they sat in the room. Otherwise, we did a lot of wonderful concerts. There were times I'd run and I'd go slip on my grandpa's cowboy boots, and I'd run over to him in the living room and say, "Grandpa, can we?" "Okay, Chata, go get it." And I would race back with the boots on that were incredibly big. I'd come back with this. The guitar that we used to play, it hangs here in my office. My grandpa would play and we would sing in the living room for hours. It was some wonderful highlights of those years. When I was about 13, he asked me, "Chata, you need to sing a song in Spanish." And I was like, "What?" Now this is hilarious to me because I don't speak Spanish. And I go, "Okay, Grandpa." And so sometimes I'd mess around and make up words and then just put it with a tune. And he'd be like, "What's that song? What's that?" And he'd go to try to play it. And I said, "I just made it up." And and I just laugh. He's like, "Promise me you'll sing a song in Spanish. And I said, okay, I'll promise. And, you know, life happened. I became a mother, and he passed away when I was 19. My second worst heartache. I went to my grandma and said, would that be okay if I took care of Grandpa's guitar? And she said, oh, yes, Mia, yes. Your dad is the one that gave it to Grandpa. And I said, what? She's like, yeah, your dad gave it to her. You should have it. I was like, oh my gosh. So I went and asked my mom, and apparently my father, who did not know how to play the guitar, purchased the guitar and to impress my mother. Well, obviously it worked. As soon as he didn't have to impress her anymore, he gave the guitar to my grandfather, who then could actually play, and we got to spend all those years after he left actually having a wonderful time with it. I decided that it's never too late to fulfill a promise. I want to fulfill the promise that I gave my word to do. I couldn't think of anyone better to share it with than with all of you. Out of all the videos, the accumulation views of 1,750 subscribers, if I passed away tomorrow, I would be extremely blessed on just this experience alone. I am absolutely so appreciative to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. And before I share the song that I've chosen, it is about, I thought the topic would have been perfect, is about heartache. So if you've ever experienced a broken or a shattered heart by a grieving of a loss of a relationship, a betrayal from a friend, a family member, or a lover, the pain is very real. And depending on your experience, to the degree of the emotional pain, can also be physical pain. I truly believe that every relationship that we have is a learning experience. We learn, are we keeping our healthy boundaries? Did I go against myself by swaying? And then that's like a betrayal to yourself, which makes it that much harder. So whether that loss of a relationship, that distrust now of someone that hurt you, realizing kind of you have to grieve. First, you're grieving the loss. You're grieving the loss of that person, all those good times, and you should always remember the good times. Then you remember, what were some of the lessons? What did I learn? What was some of the good that came out of it? Let's start with good. Or if you didn't have that person in your life, you wouldn't have been able to experience that happiness. If it's the sad part, do I need to tweak my boundaries? Was this all my lesson, or was this some of theirs? Because we help each other. It's just how it works. Maybe it wasn't all of your lesson, but a shared one. But there's something that you can learn from all of them. Your heart will grieve, and you will go through, you'll need the time that you need, and then you need to work on healing so that once again, you can love again. People, they're afraid, they don't want to go through that pain again. They don't want a new animal. They don't want a new love. When you've experienced the pain of a loss, it is very difficult, and you know that it takes massive courage. You have to make a decision that you're going to be vulnerable enough to possibly go through that pain again, to love, which is what we're meant to do. Do your homework. Heal your heart. I was going through some tips, and they mentioned writing a letter to that person. not sending it if they've passed away or it was a breakup. You don't want to do that. You just write the letter of everything that you wanted to say, and the pain, the love, the happiness, the good times. It doesn't matter. You write it, and that's for you, and then you close that, and you you do what you need to do to heal. Music is an amazing healer. It always has been for me, and I know that it is for many people, because then I Googled, and it shows how the top 50 breakup songs or love breakup songs, something like that. I'm going to attach it to the description box. It's just a validation that when you hear music and somebody is singing about what you've experienced, the pain you've experienced, or wherever degree you're at, you know, the comeback power, it helps you heal. It helps you feel better. And that's what you're meant to do. You're not meant to be bitter and shut down and not love. No. Be courageous. Choose courage over fear. Choose love. Which, of course, was my son's last song, that Stupid for Believing. I've heard from many women, like, that's an anthem for women. Well, I think since he wrote it and these guys, you know, put this together, men experience it too. We all are vulnerable. You have a heart, you have love and empathy, and you can hurt just like anyone else. Now, the song that I have chosen is Por un Amor by Linda Ronstadt. Now, her key, how she sings, is very high. I don't sing that high. So I was really wanting to do like the karaoke or have my son play the guitar, but he's got a lot of gigs now since everything's opening up. So I'm going to do this old school, a cappella. I hope you like it. I'm going to set up a little different here, and then I'll be right back. Thank you again so much for being here. See you soon. So, I still don't speak Spanish. Let's just pretend it sounds perfect. Thank you. I hope you enjoy. Por un amor me desvelo y apasionada de un amor que en mi vida dejó para siempre amargo dolor. Hombre de mí, esta vida mejor que es que acabe no es para mí, hombre de mí, hombre de mí. Cuánto sufre mi pecho con late tan solo por ti. Por un amor he llorado gatitas de sangre del corazón. Me has dejado con el alma herida sin compasión. Hombre de mí, esta vida mejor que se acabe no es para mí, hombre de mí.
hombre de mí. Cuánto sufre mi pecho con late tan solo por ti.